Welcome back to Sonic Colors. Last time I finished up Starlight Carnival, and this time I'm moving on to the 3 worlds that were unlocked after beating Starlight Carnival. Planet Wisp, Aquarium Park, I forgot the name of Aquarium Park for a minute, and Asteroid Coaster. I love these 2 worlds a lot. This is a world I'll get into a little bit later. I don't hate it, but aesthetically it's not very good. Anyway, that's not important. I'm gonna go clockwise, so that means I'm gonna start off with Planet Wisp, go to Aquarium Park, and then Asteroid Coaster, which is, I believe, the way they wanted you to go, just considering the fact that the second world technically was Sweet Sweet Mountain, and then the third one was actually Starlight Carnival. So I'm just gonna say Planet Wisp is world number 4, and if you thought the music in Starlight Carnival was good, you have not heard Planet Wisp. If you like what you're hearing already, this is only the area map. Once we hop into the actual level itself, the music will be fantastic. By the way, there is a new Wisp that will actually appear in this level, as you can see by the Wisp appearing right over the Act 1 kind of dot little bubble thing. I still have no idea what to call these, even though they're in like every single platformer game I've played, but anyway, let's hop right in and just, again, listen to this music. The music in this world is fantastic, and it might sound somewhat familiar, and that's because I actually used it earlier in this Let's Play. Back when something wrong happened, I forget exactly what happened, I think my audio cut out. Anyway, I had to talk about it, so I decided, you know what, let's grab some Planet Wisp remix music and just slap it right on in. And I did, and it sounded great even then, and honestly, just Planet Wisp has such a fantastic soundtrack, and Sonic Colors as a whole has a fantastic soundtrack, but Planet Wisp is one of the highlights for me. But anyway, that's not important. What is important is that I just used a new Wisp. What just happened there? Okay. Anyway, I just used a new Wisp. Here it is again. It is Spike. Essentially, Spike sticks to any surface because he's spiky. Haha, get it? And also, you'll see that I'm kind of going a little bit fast, and that's because, are you kidding me? This section's kind of annoying, sorry, but I keep falling down and I keep jumping at the wrong time, so I keep messing up. Anyway, Spike, if you press the if you press the boost button, will do a spin dash. He also has a double jump still, so if you need to do some precarious platforming, you can count on Spike. I don't know, I like Spike a lot. I should have been here a lot sooner. I did a homing attack, but that's fine. My Wiimote's been kind of acting up, so if the gameplay isn't 100%, I apologize for that. I think, yep, I can get right up there. Fantastic. I love the platforming in here because it's so, like, reaction-based, and that's what I think a good Boost Sonic game should be like. And honestly, while it still is reaction-based, it's not completely reaction-based. There's a lot of stuff where you just have to kind of plan out what you're going to do beforehand, and I don't know. I like it a lot. Though that could just be me. There's a lot of sections like this in Planet Wisp. Okay, that's great. Because there's a lot of mechanical stuff going on in Planet Wisp, you will have to sidestep a lot. I completely messed up that section right there. I shouldn't have done that terribly, but what are you gonna do, I guess. Also, that came up a little bit quick. I was boosting, so I ended up kind of drifting into a wall there, but that's fine. That right there is kind of like a cannon. It appears in different Boost Sonic games. You pretty much point in the direction you want to go, then you press A at the correct time. It's not terribly difficult to wrap your head around that one. So right here you might see that I'm just kind of spin dashing through everything, and I'm not really jumping from different ledges. I get different faces of different blocks, I guess you could say. It's very possible to completely ignore a lot of the very roundabout paths that if you just hold B you'll take, but I just don't see a very viable reason to do that because you're just gonna waste a bunch of time jumping from a different platform, and sometimes Spike can be a little bit too sticky. So I don't really like jumping from different platforms to different platforms using Spike unless it's, you know, unless it's kind of normal and you're not jumping from like wall to wall. That's just my opinion, though. As you can see, now we're not starting in the beautiful green lushes of Planet Wisp. We're starting in kind of the mechanical area, and that's fine, but I honestly wish that there was a lot more going on with Planet Wisp, because it goes from being this really nice, lush area, which honestly in Sonic Colors is kind of hard to find. You really don't see a lot of places that are based on nature, because it's Eggman's theme park. It makes sense that he doesn't really like nature, and fun fact, I'm going to spoil something with this area right now. This place is not complete. Technically, this is an area that Eggman is still trying to create into a planet that's worthy of his amusement park, I guess is the best way to say that. And that means there's going to be a lot of nature here. And I wish there was more nature here. But the only nature you're really going to be seeing is the nature in the background. And I just think it would have been a nice change of pace if there was more, I don't know, greenery kind of around here. Because right now it just feels like more of a very plain area. Strictly because of all the orange machinery. That's just my opinion, though. I think this area is still fantastic, both musically and visually. I think it's still very, very fun to kind of just jump around. But that's just me. I know I say that's just me like every 5 minutes, but it's the truth. It's the truth. I have a lot of friends that don't really like this game, so whenever I say a positive thing about it, I really feel like it's just me that thinks that. But probably not. I completely missed that red ring, but that's okay. Something you might also notice is this is a section that's... Okay, that's great. That's a section that was completely ripped from an area that I've already gone through in Act 1. Again, a lot of these sections are kind of copy and paste, but I still think they're fun. I still think they're pretty dang fun. I think a lot of people focus on, like, on visually, it's very similar to, like, the previous acts, and... Well, that may be the case. I still think they add new things into the areas that they did kind of like rip straight from a different act. And I think it's kind of nice. I don't know. I think it does some neat stuff with platforming. That's just my opinion, though. I say that all the time. I'm sorry. I'm like that one guy who like, you're like, you say sorry too much. And then they're like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I don't know. I actually was about to say, that's just me, though. What am I doing with my life? I think Planet Wisp is the most obvious offender of, you know, the, oh great, they steal a lot of sections from previous areas, and I didn't think I'd have to jump there, but okay. I think it's still fine. I think this area is extremely fun, so I don't think it's a massive deal, but, A lot of people seem to think it's a big problem, and I still think the platforming is very fun here. I missed, that's right, I was about to use a laser wisp, but then I realized I missed it because I didn't jump. Great. So, Planet Wisp is the homeland of all the wisps, which means that you are going to be getting a whole crap ton of wisps to use here. So I think that's actually pretty neat, actually adding the home planet of all the wisps, which kind of makes me think, you know, Eggman actually has been taking them from their home planet, which is a pretty nasty thing to do, but he's Eggman, so, you know, it makes sense. But anyway, I just like how you get to use all these different wisps in this one area and get to, like, chain them together and use them. I don't know, it's neat. That's what I think, it's very neat. Also, the platform here gets a little bit tricksy. Just because strictly due to the fact that some of the platforms can get kind of small. So it can be somewhat difficult to jump from platform to platform, or at least that's how I see it. I do like the double jump, though, in sections like that, because, you know, you might mess up a little bit. You gotta get back to a different platform, though the momentum can be kind of strange with the double jump. Or at least, you know, that's my opinion. Some people might think, wow, the double jump is just fantastic, the momentum is great. But it can be kind of strange. I think other games that implement the double jump do it better, not Sonic Force's Sonic Lost World. Sonic Lost World does a fantastic job using the double jump. I think the controls for the double jump there are absolutely great. By the way, you do not have to drift here, it just adds extra points, though on occasion it can be very helpful. I just didn't think in that first section I'd have to use it very much. I don't know if I've ever talked about this, but an A appears on the screen once you go over the yellow kind of jump platforms. I don't know what they're called, kind of just launch areas. Pretty much, you just spam A. That's literally it. I probably already talked about that at some point, but I don't know for sure. This is really a short Let's Play, so I shouldn't be, you know, having to consider, like, did I talk about this already? Because it shouldn't be that hard to remember if I talked about something in a Let's Play that's about 6 episodes long. But, whatever, it doesn't matter all that much. I don't know, I think the platform here is so good. It's just so fun. And you can say, no, the platform here is bad. But I can't disagree more. What you just saw there with me sliding under that area, I don't know, that was so much fun. I cannot get that Wisps, which kind of sucks, but whatever. That's fine. And this stuff right here where there are these moving platforms and you have to be very careful and you have to carefully homing attack onto people and maneuver your way around those very small moving platforms. I think it's really fun. I think it's fantastic. I think Planet Wisp has some of the best platforming in the game. And it's just so fun. A lot of people, I actually do want to talk about something later. A lot of people don't like the level design in this game, and I think it's linear, yeah. But I can't disagree with the fact more that the level design's fantastic. I mean, I messed that one up. I'm sorry. I'll talk about it later. Cutscene.
This place is. There's something very Eggman-ish about it.
I think he's transforming it somehow, making it part of his theme park.
Attention guests, if you can hear this message, you are trespassing in an area still under renovation. If you are not a robot, please return to the main park areas and ignore anything evil you might have seen here. Thank you.
It looks like the theme of his park is universal domination and the conquest of alien races.
It's more than a theme, it's a reality. He's using them like some kind of living intergalactic gasoline.
That's pretty low, even for a sleazeball like Eggman.
Some displacement of indigenous aliens and destruction of natural resources may occur. Eggman Enterprises not responsible.
You getting any of that?
Yeah, they're totally freaked out. It sounds like they're in shock because of public transportation and a loony nurse. Oh no, wait, scratch that. They're in shock because of their planet's strange transformation and having been dragged across the universe.
Well, I still can't believe he kidnapped the whole planet. How does somebody do that?
They're saying it was either ice cream or a tractor beam.
Yeah, well, I'm going to guess it wasn't ice cream shooting out of those generators.
If it was, I would get one for back home.
Dude, I'd get 2. Now, if everyone will excuse me, I'm going to put a stop to these renovations.
I goofed up my commentary there a little bit before the cutscene, and fun fact, there is not enough time left. There won't be enough levels left to go around in the next episode, so I think this video is only 13 minutes long. I'm gonna finish up the entirety of Planet Wisp in this episode, and the same will probably go with the other levels. I know I've been splitting it up, but honestly, I've gotten to the point where I realize that doesn't work very well, so I'm going to be fixing that mistake right now. Anyway. Sorry, before the cutscene ended, I said, oh, I can't disagree with the fact more that the level design in this game's great. That was 2 feelings mixing together into one. I can't disagree more with the fact that people say the level design in this game is bad. I love the level design in this game. That's what I was trying to say, not the very conflicting statement I did say. I actually do like how they have the icons for every single different world. Like, for example, here they have the whole world kind of being torn apart and all that negative stuff, and then what just happened there? Sorry, and then Tropical Resort, they have some really neat, I don't know, they have some really neat neon stuff going on in their world icon. I think it's just kind of neat how they have all the world icons, and they put a lot of work and effort into that. I think it's pretty cool. This time I won't die, thankfully. This is a concept we've already seen before. This time it's being used over more bottomless pits than before, so you want to be extremely careful when going through this area. Oh, oof. That was a bit too fast for my taste. Something I can find somewhat annoying, and I can't agree with if people say this at all. I don't know if they do, but the thing is, sometimes when you're trying to double jump in some areas, it can be quite annoying when you actually homing attack into an enemy, and you don't want to. That happens quite a bit for me in some smaller areas, I should say, like when I was actually double jumping up that area with a bunch of egg ponds and those very small yellow platforms. I ended up homing attacking onto egg ponds when I went to double jump. That can be kind of annoying. But honestly, I don't think it deters from the fact that the double jump is still fantastic, and I love the way it works in this game. Though, again, the momentum can be somewhat strange when moving backwards with it. Though if you're moving forwards and, like, going with the flow and not trying to go against the flow, I think it's great. I think the movement works very well with the double jump. Again, I know I'm saying some very conflicting stuff, but I think it just really depends on the situation that you're in. I think the double jump can be fantastic. I think the double jump can be somewhat annoying. Also, I think that rail grinding section was really fun, and I think, again, I can't say it enough, the platforming here is so fun. I love it so much. This is the first time they actually did anything really neat with the rail grinding. There are actual hazards that can kill you while grinding on the rails, so be very, very careful. Though, I shouldn't say very, very careful. It's not that difficult to avoid all the negative things that are happening on those rail grinding situations. It's not terrible. It's not terribly difficult to avoid all the bad mumbo jumbo that's with the rail grinding, but I don't know. I guess it's just nice to say, you know, be careful. Because I don't know. That should be a given. I'm sorry. My commentary is all over the place. Anyway, as I previously stated, a lot of different wisps are being used here. For example, Spike and Hover. Hover was used there to make that platforming section slightly easier, which is really nice and good. Spike, I don't know what Spike's being used for right now. I don't feel like I need to use him at all. Spike can be somewhat clunky, though I don't think he is a terrible wisp by any means. I actually do have fun using him, but in certain sections he can be kind of, yucky. Hello? Oh, okay, I just had to kill all those guys and then these platforms would come down. A lot of stuff here is pretty, you know, self-explanatory, but some of the stuff can be like, okay, what do I do now? And I just have to kill all the enemies, and I didn't know about that. I don't know. It can be kind of weird, kind of off-putting. I just wish they didn't do the whole heroes thing where they made it so you have to kill some enemies before you can proceed. I just don't like that. That's not my idea of a fun time. Though a lot of people enjoyed heroes, apparently. I didn't know that so many people enjoyed it. I actually thought it was kind of where the series started going downhill for a lot of people, but apparently not. I've actually played heroes, I should say that, and I think it's fine. I just don't think it's the best thing to grace this earth. I think that comparatively to the other games, it was slightly worse. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't the best. Though comparatively to what came after, it was a godsend. But enough about that. I actually want to say this right here, right now. A lot of people... sorry, I was in an argument with someone on the interwebs, I know, crazy, and we were talking about Sonic Colors. I'm like, is it a good game? And I didn't know the boss was next, so I'll talk about this more after the cutscene. My apologies.
And there's the generator. It seems like these guys are getting harder and harder to find. I know for a fact these guys are getting harder and harder to beat.
Please remember, all planets in Eggman's incredible interstellar amusement park are, as far as you know, wholly owned properties of Eggman Enterprises and its subsidiaries. All unauthorized photography, video reproduction, or shutting down of generators is strictly prohibited. Thank you.
Eggman, I am going to save this planet, and I am going to free these aliens. No copyright law in the universe is going to stop me. We can save a lot of time and broken robots if you just quit now. You try to be reasonable.
I love that part where Sonic's like, no copyright law in the universe is gonna stop me. Because it just, oh god, it resonates so well with me because I upload Nintendo content on YouTube and, it just feels really good to hear Sonic say that, and I have no idea why. But, anyway, what I was talking about before, I was having an argument with people on the interwebs, and I was like, you know, Sonic Colors is really good. By the way, this boss is not new or original. It does have some new moves, but it's literally Tropical Resort's boss. And this is what I was talking about by the bosses getting worse and worse, and the fact that I cannot vouch for the bosses in this game. I honestly can't, because they get worse and worse as time goes on, and that's... I don't know, I don't like that they had to do this, and it's not good. It's not nice at all. But anyway, the person I was talking to said that this game was bad because it negatively affected games later on in the series. And I don't understand that argument. I understand that the Wisps are not fun. I understand that the Wisps are not cool. No one likes the Wisps now because they're being used terribly. But how is that a negative of this game just because it introduced that concept? And I think in this game the concept of Wisps is used fantastically. But they were arguing that no, because Wisps and different aspects that weren't positive were brought back in future games, it was a negative towards this game, and I just don't agree with that at all. I hate that argument because it's so simple-minded. And I'm sorry, I just want to get that out there. That's been on my mind for a little while, so I just kind of wanted to talk about it during the Let's Play of the game that I was talking about. Anyway, enough of that.
Wow, sometimes I even impress myself. For a second there, I wasn't sure I was going to pull it off. Well, who am I kidding? We both knew how this would end.
Are you talking to the broken robot who can't hear you?
Maybe. That's between me and the robot. See, the important thing here is the alien planet is free.
Absolutely.
So, we can just forget about the whole talking to dead robots thing, right?
Nope.
I knew you'd say that.
Oh, come on. I've seen you save the day a lot of times, but I've never seen you talk to a pile of metal.
Touché.
A lot of people don't like the, Oh, by the way, yeah, all of the Wisps are used in Planet Wisp, which makes sense, and I think that's great. Anyway, a lot of people don't like the Deadly Six in Sonic Lost World, and this might sound like, this is coming out of nowhere. But no, in Planet Wisp, in the fight, and the boss, in that cutscene you just saw, Sonic was talking to an inanimate dead robot, and I do not like Sonic when he's playing off of inanimate robots, because it just doesn't work out well, because the robots have no personality. And I think the Deadly Six is actually a perfect example of Sonic having bosses that do actually play off of him well and do actually give him chances for good commentary. But in this game, talking to dead robots is just kind of, I'm not a fan of it. It's not terrible though, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, without further ado, I have completed Planet Wisp, and in the next episode, I will be moving on to Aquarium Park. But that's for the next episode. See you then.